All right, guys, in this video, all the CB750 engine parts are in. Nearly $2,400 in parts and machine work, and I just want to discuss what's getting thrown back into the engine. So here it is, Cycle X Hot Rod Honda engines, and they're in Hazelworth, Wisconsin. Cycle Exchange. Alright, so I got a bunch of stuff here. Full gasket set, plus this is the oil pump rebuild kit. Bunch of O-rings. Okay, so in here, this is the MLS style head gasket, which is going to seal a lot better than the stocker here. And then also they have an upgraded valve cover gasket. Because you know, you have to pull the motor to retorque the head. You're not going to have to retorque with the MLS. And then this is more of a leak-proof gasket. So I don't want any leak issues, so I want to do away with the stock version. And then here's the full gasket set. So that's awesome. They're probably the pistons. Okay, over here, what they've done is bored and honed the cylinders 0.5 over, so it's 0.5 millimeter bigger. Just went with cast replacement pistons and rings. Came with wrist pins, circlips, all that good stuff. So the bores are nice and clean. They skim this surface, so it's awesome, nice and flat for MLS head gaskets. And they also put helicoil inserts in these threaded holes because they're known to blow out over time, right? Or they just get weaker over time. So they fixed all that. They dry blasted it with glass bead, which is going to speed up my process. I'm going to hit it with the vapor blaster to get the finish consistent with all my other parts, but at least now I got a blank canvas, and this will quickly, you know, get blasted from this to the finish I'm expecting, or the finish I want for my project. Okay, so that's that. Okay, over here, my valves and guides were worn, so they put in new guides, brand new valves. They skimmed the top surface here. Helicoil inserts were needed, basically for the cam towers, because those are known to be weak, I guess. And then they did a valve job and skimmed this surface here, so it'll be awesome for the MLS head gasket. Okay, so here's a vapor blasted part, and here's a dry blasted part, and they are very close. Whatever they used probably a really fine bead, and it's very close to this look. So this one's a little shinier. Okay, so what I'll do is vapor blast this, and this will probably take half an hour, 40 minutes to vapor blast. Same with this part. I mean, it is 95% of the way there. Obviously, when it had paint and corrosion on there, you have to rough cut that stuff off, and it takes hours. But now that we're 95% there, this will quickly clean up. So I'm glad I paid them to do this. It'll save me some time. All right, so let's see what I paid. I paid $1,210 for what I just showed you. The piston set, $160. Deluxe bore and hone, $240. Valves, $150. High lift guides, $129. Headwork, the labor for the headwork, $325. Super gasket set, budget version, $139, which includes the MLS gasket, and an oil pump rebuild kit, $42. Shipping was $30. So that's what it needed. I'll vapor blast these parts, clean them up really well, and then we will be able to assemble everything. Okay, over here we have more parts that we got from Cycle X. Here are primary chains, a pair of them, cam chain, and then the tensioner for the primary chains. So this is an OEM Honda version. Okay, so this guy here was $110. It's nice and soft, the wheel. My other one was rock hard. The cam chain was $89. This is like the flat link version, which is stronger than stock, and it's also cryogenically treated. So they do that to all their chains to make them stronger. And then a pair of these chains for the primary drive were $120. So you can see I ordered a ton of stuff from Cycle X. They have pretty much everything you need for a rebuild. They're great to deal with, and their machine work turnaround time they claim is 3 to 4 days. I think it took a little longer than that, but still. One thing about machine shops is you never know how long it's going to take. Sometimes they'll tell you it's a week or two, but it could be months, and that's one thing I was worried about. But these guys were great to deal with. I would highly recommend them, and they know their stuff on these 750, the single overhead cam engines. They even do 500 and 550 stuff, so definitely reach out to them if you need anything done. Over here, I scored a nice crank on eBay for $39. The journals look great. I need to clean up all this stuff here. I hit it with solvent once, and it looks like there's some, I don't know, oil residue or something. Anyway, I got to scrub it a little harder. But anyway, the journals look great. $39, can't beat it. All right, in here I have a ton of OEM parts. I think this was like $500 or $600 worth of stuff. 117 parts. So I did order some bolts because some of mine were very pitted and I wasn't sure how the plating was going to turn out. So I did order a ton of bolts. Probably won't need all of them. I could probably resell them or return them or whatever. I do have connecting rod bearings and crank bearings in here. I got all the cam chain tensioner plastic parts, transmission bearings, and some bolts just in case, more bearings, cam chain stuff. Another tip, do not take it out of the bag until you actually physically install it during the rebuild. So what I like to do is while I'm rebuilding is you have the parts diagram that points to the part and it has the part number. So that way you can just say, oh, I'm looking for 08140, there it is. I take it out of the bag and I install it. And that way there is no question that you're installing the right part in the right spot, because a lot of O-rings look the same and whatnot, so that's just a little tip. And we got new friction discs for the clutch. So I don't think I need to open it. That's what they look like. So we'll put some new plates in it. Not done spending money yet. All right, another part from Cycle X, refurbished chain wheel. So this is the primary drive chain wheel that has the rubber cushions in there, and you know the rubber just degrades over time. So $195, and then I need to send in my old one, which they will refurbish and sell to someone else. So that's like a core charge or whatever, or a core. All right, so what they do, the stocker has rivets here. You got to drill it out, and then you have to countersink this part to accept the bolts to re-bolt it in. And I can see the cushions under here. There's probably like, I don't know, 10 of them or so. And I believe they put in new bearings, new needle bearings. So anyway, that guy's rebuilt. Okay, here are the bolts that I got back from the plater, and they look really nice. Some of these are really pitted, and you know, if it was available from the OEM, I purchased it because it was only a few bucks, because I didn't know how this was going to turn out. So if this is going to be a visible bolt, I will replace it. However, this one right here, I believe, is not available, and it's pretty pitted, but overall, I'm happy with the way it turned out, so I'll use it. These are the main bolts. They're pitted, but it's on the bottom, so, you know, what are you going to do? So the cost of this, actually, I got it done for free. I got a family member who works in manufacturing. They send stuff out for plating once a week. I'm like, hey, can you plate these for me? He's like, sure. I asked how much. He's like, don't worry. He did it for me for a favor. So that was awesome. If you guys need a plater, I was going to use someone in Streamwood, Illinois. I think they're called Streamwood Plating or something like that. And I called there, and he said that takes 2 days to turn it around, and they charge 80 to 100 or 125 bucks or something like that. But I don't think he realized that I stripped it all. So I believe they do everything. They'll strip it, clean them up, and then plate it. So I'm not sure about the pricing on that. But anyway, expect to pay $80 plus for a lot of bolts that you need to plate. But anyway, these turned out really nice. I don't know where that came from. I don't think that's a nut that... I definitely don't think that's mine. That's definitely something else. So I hope there's none missing here. You know, there's always the chance of them losing stuff. So, but anyway, that looks pretty good.